So the defending NBA champion, Toronto Raptors, second in the East. I've managed to not make a video directly about them in a while. I mean, I was bigging up Lowry for the All-Star start and stuff like that, but I don't know, my bad. They're really good. They went on a big winning streak. They've fallen back down to earth a little bit. They still are way better than I thought they were going to be. I think I predicted them to get like the 6th seed and 45 wins maybe, so they're going to pass that in like a week, potentially less. Could the Bucks lose to the Raptors? Could the Celtics lose to the Raptors? Could everybody lose to the Raptors? Yeah, certainly. I think right now I would pick Toronto in a series over the Celtics for various reasons. A big one being I don't really know if Tatum would be the best player in a series with Siakam. I mean, it's neck and neck between those two. Don't really know. I mean, Siakam's contested three-point shot making is continuing to be one of the wildest things that doesn't get talked about that much because we all just kind of realized he's legit from there early in the season, but it's still going, man. I mean, 6 threes a game, 37%, and dude's great. I mean, I don't know where he is in the NBA ranking right now, but he's maybe one of the 15 best players. If we're going to attempt to be nitpicky about a guy who went from a bench warmer to an all-star in this amount of time, I guess the next step for Siakam is his playmaking, but listen, the dude has already shattered whatever ceiling was supposed to be on him. If we move on to the rest of this Raptors roster, Kyle Lowry continues to be awesome. And when we're talking about a tough playoff series, we'll go to round 2 because the Raptors are going to win their round 1 series no matter what it is. So round 2, as of right now, they'd be meeting the Celtics, right? Lowry's the type of guy who could slow down Kemba, could have a great 4 or 5 minutes defensively where he's on Jalen and then he's on Tatum and then he's on, somebody on a switch and the Celtics try to post him up and that doesn't work. Or again, he could give Kemba fits all game. So that's the type of guy that you just want in a playoff series. I mean, for all the crap that dude got about his playoff performances, he was awesome against the Bucks the last 4 games. He was really good against the Warriors. I trust Kyle Lowry to just do something. I mean, in a way, he's like the Raptors version of Marcus Smart, except he doesn't give you the headaches that Marcus Smart gives you, and he also scores a lot more points. So that 1-2 combination is just going to be really difficult to deal with for teams. And then, Ibaka's offense has popped a bit this season to where he's making more shots, and Marc Gasol, is he still out? He is still out, but to me, the Marc Gasol hamstring injury is a little bit of a blessing because that dude was tired as hell from playing in the Olympics after going 7 games in the NBA Finals or 6 games or whatever it was. So we assume a rejuvenated Marc Gasol is going to be really valuable for this team because of what he gives you defensively, and if the Raptors end up meeting the Sixers, which could happen if Philly, as of right now, the way the seedings are set up, beat the Celtics in the first round, which I don't think is a ridiculous thing to happen, assuming they're healthy. Then Gasol against Embiid, Gasol's great against Joel. And then, of course, this Raptors defense as a whole. I mean, what are they in defensive rating right now? They're 2nd, so that's pretty damn good. Between Anunoby and the way he can defend, and I mentioned Lowry, and Siakam, of course, is great there. I mean, the smart, switchable, physical defense that we saw from them a year ago, it is still here, even with Danny Green and Kawhi being gone. They're getting some minutes out of Rondae Hollis-Jefferson that's been pretty good. Norman Powell's offense has taken off. I mean, he's shooting 39% on 5 threes a game. This team just has so many options and ways to beat teams. I mean, if Lowry or Siakam is having an off game, Fred VanVleet's averaging 18 points a game right now. He's been great from 3 all season. So, and then of course you have the Nick Nurse thing where sometimes he'll bust out a zone, sometimes he'll trap in the full court, and that's thrown some teams off. And this team has had so many close wins that have been great, and they're just the one team among all the other teams that I would be most scared of my Celtics facing. But if my Celtics are going to make it to the conference finals, they're going to have to beat the Raptors, and I don't really know if they can right now. I mean, part of the Celtics thing is how many tall shot creators they have, but the Raptors have a defender for each one of those guys. I mean, you're talking Lowry on Kemba, Anunoby on Tatum, Siakam on Hayward, and then Powell on Jalen. And there you go. I'm not saying the Celtics won't be able to score or still win some games, but you're going to have to beat some good defenders off the dribble, you know? And then even if you manage to do that, you still have Gasol floating around. Ibaka's good and can move around defensively, so this team's going to be tough. Now, the chances of the Raptors meeting Miami in the playoffs are not very high right now. There would have to be a bit of shuffling with either Miami falling or going up to the 3 seed. But I think the Raptors would certainly have an answer for the Heat. I think they have the defenders to slow down Jimmy. I think they've got the big physical defenders to deal with Bam. Whether it's Ibaka if you need more athleticism, or Gasol if you just need more strength and stuff like that. And of course Miami defending the Raptors matters too, but I think Toronto would beat Miami in a series. If we talk about the Pacers, I don't think Indiana would have a chance against the Raptors unless Oladipo just got it going pretty much. And then against Philly, I mean, I mentioned the Gasol Embiid thing. The other way around is the Sixers defending the Raptors. And okay, Philly's got a whole lot of big switchable defenders, and also the Raptors, for all the great things you can say about them, they don't have Kawhi. They do not have that great give me the ball scorer. I mean, Siakam is maybe that guy, but it's a little tougher, you know? So, okay, maybe that would be the thing that you beat the Raptors on, is just switching on defense and daring them to make tough shots on you. But I feel like the Raptors are better than Philly, if anything, just because I think they could deal with Embiid. If we talk about the Bucks, finally 7.5 minutes into this, do I think the Raptors could beat Milwaukee? Yes, I do. I think they still have the big dudes to form the wall on Giannis, but I think they would also bust out some zone against the Bucks. Granted, the Bucks have so much shooting, they might be able to deal with a zone, but even so, if you did it right and you swarmed on defenders at the right time, and I think they'd be able to close out on all the Bucks shooters, and they'd probably once again dare Giannis to be a passer, and he's been a little better at that this season, so okay. Be very interesting, a Raptors-Bucks series. I guess that is my Eastern Conference Finals prediction right now. I know the Celtics are only 2 games behind the Raptors, and, you know, Miami's only 4 games behind, but I just think Toronto has proven themselves to be a little better than the rest of the pack, besides Milwaukee. And even then, I think there's a chance the Raptors could knock the Bucks off. So, yeah, I'm very high on the defending NBA champion Toronto Raptors. Great coach, a lot of defenders, a lot of smart veterans who have done it before, and that stuff matters. But the one thing to be said is, while Siakam is great, can we confidently say that he's going to be the best player in any series they play against these good teams, you know? If Tatum is averaging 30 against the Raptors, that could be the difference. If Giannis is simply what he's been all season, then that could do the Raptors in there. So that's the type of thing. I mean, can Embiid figure out Marc Gasol if the Raptors meet the Sixers? Don't know. But as I keep saying, the playoffs are going to be fun, and they're going to creep up on us before we know it. I mean, what do they start? Mid-April, I believe, so not too much time left.